Right, we're being joined right now by Eugen Yusuf, who is one of the survivors of that plane crash in the Kozhikode airport. Eugen Yusuf, thank you so much for speaking with NDTV at this time. Now, this was a repatriation aircraft, part of the Vande Bharat mission. Tell us the circumstances that put you on this flight. What made it imperative for you to travel at this time?
Hi, thank you so much. Actually, I was in my visit visa, and I lost my job a few months before, and I joined a new company, and they were supposed to give the employment visa, but due to the COVID problems, they could make my visa. So I have to exit before August 10th, actually. So that was the reason I took the flight on 7th, yesterday.
Right. And describe to us what happened in those fateful moments. What did you experience? Did the pilots of the aircraft communicate with you at all as the landing was happening? Tell us what happened in those moments.
Actually, we got a message from pilot 45 minutes before landing. Before crashing, I would say, that we are going to land in Calicut. So it was a happy moment that we are happy that we are going to land in a couple of minutes after. So we are waiting for that. And from that moment onward, there was no messages. After like 50 to 20 minutes, there was no messages, nothing. And usually there will be a message that they will be announcing the temperature, they're announcing the local time. Nothing was there.
Yeah.
And also we got a last message from pilot, Calicut landing. He was not completing his message. He just said Calicut land. And he couldn't complete his message, actually, and his voice was not completed. And after 50 to 20 minutes, the flight got landed. And at the landing time, we were happy. Like, the flight got landed, but the happiness doesn't long for long time.
Right.
Just for a few seconds. Just landed and it got crashed. Everything was in few seconds. And all the passengers, they were out of mind were blank at the time.
So where were you in terms of the aircraft? Were you seated at the back? Did you in fact sustain any injuries? And what went through your mind at the time?
At the time, I was seeing in my eyes what is happening in front of me. And I was in the last seat. I would say I was in 21B. My seat number was 21B. And I was seeing what is happening in front of me. Once the flight got hit in the wall and got crashes, I was seeing the people, the passengers, they are like flying. And all the carriers are coming out. And the people are screaming, they are shouting. And I was trying to help my co-passengers who were sitting behind me. I tried to pull out their seatbelt, and also I tried to help their children. And after that, I went outside to see what is the situation. And I got a small gap. I went out and I stand in the aircraft. For 20 minutes, I stand in the aircraft, and I shouted to get the attention of the people, those who are in the rescue operation. At last, the CRPF people, they came after 50 to 20 minutes. They came inside the aircraft. And they removed all the stuff. They were like crossing. They were blocking our way. So they removed that and they tried to help us. And after removing all that, we came out from the aircraft.
So tell us at this point, Eugen, you're actually now in quarantine because everyone on this aircraft has been quarantined until they're tested for coronavirus. Is that clear? And you also, you've lost all your luggage as well, naturally, in this crash.
Yes, of course. I lost everything, and I went to hospital with a small kid. I went into the hospital with a small kid. She was injured in her leg, so I took her to the hospital, and I met one staff there, and I asked her to take care of her. And my friends were there with my car, so I took the car and I drive myself to home. So I didn't stand in the hospital so long. I just spent few minutes, like not more than 5 minutes. I was just in the hospital in 5 minutes, And after 5 minutes, I left the hospital because it's not safe to stay there. After all, we are coming from outside.
Right. So this is clearly a difficult time for you, and we can't thank you enough for taking the time out to speak to us about what must have been a very, very traumatic event indeed. Eugen, thank you very much for sharing your story, and you've been very fortunate, perhaps more than many other people on that flight. But thank you very much indeed for speaking with NDTV.